I am really grateful for the place that God has me in right now because you guys, I have so much peace. I have so much peace. I wake up in the morning and I'm not worried about my emails or money or who needs me or anything like that. Like, I just have so much peace and I have so much joy. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a minute, but I am planning to really turn it up a notch with the content and posting regularly. I don't have a number in mind. I would love to post at least twice a week, but even if I can do once a week, I'm okay with that. But I have missed y'all so much, and I know I need to update y'all on a lot because a lot has been going on. So I'm gonna do like a get ready with me / update video on my life and things I have going on and all the things. So if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe if you like this video. If you have already been following me and you follow me on social and all the things, then you might know some of these things. And I'm gonna be going into depth about other things. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Okay, so first thing first, I'm gonna go ahead and do my hair. I don't even know what it looks like, you guys. I have been sleeping in clip-ins, which isn't good to do. But I've also been working out today, so I feel like my hair is probably looking crazy. Child. Okay, so let's work on this hair. I really do love these clip-ins. They are so soft, and like literally I have not brushed them in days and they still look so nice. Because I don't have that much time, I think I'm just gonna like straighten it and call it a day. Also, you should not sleep in your clip-ins for long periods of time. They've been kind of pulling at the back because like it's not a lot of hair up there. So just a little fair warning. Okay, so first things first, one of the main questions that I've been getting asked is if I am still in LA, if I'm moving back to LA, and the answer is probably not. So I left LA in December of last year. I had a very traumatic experience that I've shared with my close friends. I'm sure I will share it with the public eventually, but it's not something that I'm just ready to talk about openly. So I decided to leave LA and I went to Mexico for a bit, and then I decided to come to Texas where my sister is and my nephews. And I love being here. Like, if y'all know me, my sisters and my siblings are my best friends. My sister, she takes such good care of me. She thinks she's the mama. She always thought she was the mama, so now she really is a mama. And I really appreciate those traits in her so much because we really just balance each other out. And she is such a like safe space for me. So I love you, treasure. I also get to be here with my nephews and like seeing them grow, which is amazing. My brother-in-law is amazing. Fun fact, my brother-in-law used to be my boss, so that's how they met. And I take responsibility for forming this beautiful family that they have. And I will never let them forget that. And then also my sister is here. So we get to spend a lot of time together, and it's just like so refreshing, so healing, especially because we had a very like chaotic upbringing. And for a really long time, like I did not desire a family. So being here has kind of like reprogrammed my brain chemistry on like having a healthy family and a healthy dynamic and a healthy household and marriage and all the things. So I love being here. I've been here for 6 months now, which is insane. My sister would literally have me be here forever though if she could, because again, like we're very close. We would love to do like a family compound and just like all live close to each other. However, you know, I do not think that, you know, I think that I'm a very like independent person. I like to experience new places and new things and live independently. So I think I am going to desire that again. So I'm thinking that I'm going to give myself a year here max. I honestly was thinking about going back to LA. I always thought that I would go back to LA because, to be honest, like I miss it. I miss LA. Living in LA is like living on vacation. It's like living on holiday because there's so much to do. You know, it's literally a tourist city. It's one of the most popular cities in the world. There's so much to do and there's so much opportunity. And to be honest, like I had a really, really, really great community there. My closest friends live there, and people that I just really love and trust. And it was a great community. And I know that's where a lot of people struggle with LA. And yeah, the only thing is that personally, I dealt with a lot of spiritual warfare there, and it really didn't have anything to do with LA per se. I do feel like LA is a city where obviously there's a lot of drugs, sex, money, a lot of things going on, but I'm an adult. Like I can take responsibility and accountability for the things that I do. However, I was in a space where I was very far from God and I was not spending intimate time with God. And when you spend so many years away from God, it's really hard to hear God's voice. And it just was not a conducive city for me to be in long term. Do I think that I could live a great life in LA with the Lord? Absolutely. However, one thing about me as well that I've realized over the past year is that I really do desire to have a family and to be a wife and a mother. And cities like LA, New York, like large metro cities, people move there to build their careers. And obviously, as an entrepreneur, like that's a really great city for me to be in and a great place for me to be in for opportunities. But as someone who wants to be a wife and a mother, it's really not as conducive. Not that it's impossible. I just think that it would take a lot longer for me as opposed to some other cities where people are more like family focused. So yeah, honestly, I haven't shared this with anyone, but I am considering Dallas and I'm considering DC. And I don't know why those cities, never mind, I do know why. DC is definitely like metro city as well. So I'm leaning toward Dallas more. Either way, whichever I go with, it's going to be something like in the suburbs. It's not going to be in the city because I've always been in the city. When I was in Atlanta, I was in the city. When I was in LA, I was literally downtown LA. So I am wanting something that is in the suburbs, on the outskirts. That way I can just like drive into the city as needed. So yeah, we'll see. I think another thing for me, like with LA in particular, is like I never asked God if I should move to LA. It was just what I wanted to do at the time. I was bored with Atlanta. I thought that I had like done everything that I could do in Atlanta in regards to like my career and lifestyle, or everything that I wanted to do anyway. So I was like, I'm not moving to New York. I don't want to go to the cold. I feel like New York is also dirty. So no shade to New Yorkers. So I was like, I'm gonna go to LA, and I was like, I'm just gonna go. Like, and honestly, as soon as I moved to LA, things started getting real ghetto. My expenses obviously had like tripled because LA is like one of the most expensive cities in the world. But I lost my largest client, who was probably like a huge chunk of my income, as soon as I moved to LA. And that's just kind of what was the vibes the entire time I was there. Working with clients there was also just like different, because LA is like very hustle, very fast paced. Everyone is like trying to get on, and people will deal with a lot, put up with a lot to say they worked with, X, Y, and Z person. And for me, I'm not in a phase in my life where I care about like whose name is attached to a project or whatever to work, like I take integrity in what I do, and I'm great at what I do, and I will go above and beyond for the people that I work with. However, it has to make sense. And I like to work with businesses and business owners and companies who know what they're doing. I'm not just going to blindly ride with you and be an okay man for things that don't make sense. And yeah, that was kind of the vibe there. I felt like clientele is one of those things that you can curate. You find the clientele. If you're working with people that you don't like, you can shift that and vet better and all the things. But it just wasn't a priority to me to be in hustle and be trying to like find clients and all the things and network. And I thought that is what I wanted when I initially moved to LA. But when I got there and I was like, I'm kind of over this already. Because I did it like most of my 20s. I built my business. I started my business when I was 26. I'm 33 now. So that's almost, what's the math? 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, almost 8 years of hustling. Really, I would say like 6 years of hustling, because the last couple of years, I really haven't been hustling that much. Actually like 7 years. So, I was just over it. And I feel like, honestly, I've earned my stripes, like I understand working hard, but I've earned my stripes in that lane, and I want to do something else, which leads me to my next update. And that is business. How is business going? So I pretty much, parted ways from my last client that I had on my roster, in June. So over the past year, I've been slowly like parting ways with clients and saying no to projects, not really promoting my services as much. Because yeah, it's like, again, like it's just not really in alignment. So with that, obviously, I still need to make money. So I have decided, that's why I've decided to get into full-time influencer mode and really create a lot of content, because this is initially what I always wanted to do. If you follow my story, I started a YouTube channel in 2009. So I have lots of YouTube videos from 2009 that are on another channel. That's one of my biggest regrets, is that I didn't just start posting my personal stuff on that channel, so y'all can actually see like the journey from posting in 2009 to now. I started posting business stuff on that channel, which is so weird because now it's like a mix of business stuff and personal stuff. But anyway, I always wanted to be like a full-time content creator, but I also needed to make money because I have been paying my own bills since I was 18, and that was not paying the bills. So I went and got a job and started working, and I put myself through college, and I just did not have time to create content, or didn't know how to prioritize it, while also like living the life of a girl, a young 20s girl. Like I had a boyfriend, I was in a 7-year relationship, and I worked, so it just wasn't a priority. Like if I know what I know, if I would have known then what I know now, I would have been going so hard on YouTube, you guys, because I was really on the platform early when Jackie Aina and Dose Candy and all the OGs were on here. But I also believe that, you know, God's timing is perfect. So I'm not tripping about it. There's no better time than the present. So yeah, I am focused on working on more influencer content. And the thing is, I feel like I have a cheat code because in my agency, we've worked with influencers for years, right? Like, we've sourced influencers, we've negotiated budgets for influencers, we've created briefs, we've created content. So it's not something that's foreign to me. It's just something that I haven't had a lot of time to tap into because my priority has always been my clients. So now that I don't have any clients, I don't have any excuse. And I'm just really grateful for my sister for letting me be here as well, because not having to worry about paying rent gives me a lot of opportunities to be flexible and creative in this process. Because if I was worried about like bills, then I would be stressed and, you know, not as creative. So I'm really grateful for her and my brother-in-law. They're the best. And when I get rich, I'm gonna take care of everybody who took care of me. So it's also been interesting because like one thing about me is everybody knows I know how to make money, right? Like, I'm a hustler. I know how to make money. But I'm kind of like starting from scratch. So it's different, but also where I am in my relationship with God is that I don't worry about how I'm going to be provided for. Like, the Lord is making sure all my bills are paid when they're supposed to be paid, how they're supposed to be paid, and I don't have to be attached to how he's going to do it. And I'm so, so grateful to be in that space of not worrying and honestly just like seeking him. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and everything else will be given to you. And I am going to do an entire video on my current journey with God because it's something that's really important. And I just want to share my testimony because the Bible tells us that we should share our testimonies for other people. But, you know, I've always been a believer. I was raised in a very religious family on both sides. I grew up with my grandma taking us to church, and we had to sing at church. We was in a choir. We was singing solos. We was doing praise dances, all the things. However, as I got older, it wasn't even that I strayed because I've always had a strong relationship with God. But there were just a lot of things in my life that I saw in my household that were normalized that I didn't know were bad, right? Like, for example, smoking weed. Like, smoking weed was never frowned upon in my household. Or, you know, drinking excessively was never frowned upon in my household. So those are not things that I even thought were bad, you know? So for me, I've always been a believer, but I have not always been a follower of God, and I have not always followed his principles and how he calls us to live. So over the past, I would say 8 months, I have just been like deep in my Bible. And this is crazy to say, but I have never read the Bible all the way through as an adult. I've always skimmed through it or like done Bible studies or devotionals, but I never truly read the Bible. And I had gotten in this phase in my life where, and I'll talk about it more in the video, in-depth video, but I had gotten this phase in my life where I was into a lot of new age spirituality things. I was manifesting. I have a video on manifesting on this page that I'm actually going to take down. Doing a lot of manifesting, but thinking that I'm doing it in my own power. Like, God is within me and I can do anything. I can manifest anything. Like, I'm a master manifester. And again, like, not consulting with God about these things that I was even asking for. So Yeah, that was real ghetto. I was really into like astrology. And here's the thing, a lot of people are like, oh, astrology isn't real, zodiacs aren't real. Astrology is real. It's been studied for hundreds of years. And I'm a type of person who I get really into diving deep on things like that. Like, I want to learn all the things. The problem with that is that it's still witchcraft, you know? And when you open up those doors to things like that, it's very hard to turn back, you know? So for me, it went from like astrology and studying zodiac signs and birth charts and all the things to like watching tarot and seeking, whenever I was having a problem in my life, looking at like tarot and seeing what tarot readers had to say and psychics before I even prayed, which is insane, you know? I'm so grateful that God is a merciful God and God forgives, because he brought me out of that place. And now I see how insane that was, because it's not that these psychics aren't correct, because a lot of the times they are gifted. They're just not using their gifts for God, you know? And also, they cannot intercede like God can intercede. So let's say you talk to a psychic and they're like, oh, your marriage is about to fail, da 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 da, this is going to happen to you, you're going to get in a car accident, whatever. They could be right, but they cannot intercede for you and stop that. God can. That's why you should always be seeking God. So yeah, that is my tidbits in that realm. I forgot how I got started on this subject, you guys, but oh yeah, just trusting God. So yeah, I'm just in a phase where I'm really trusting God, seeking God. If it ain't Jesus and he ain't told me to do it, if the Lord ain't told me to do it, then I don't want it. And really just like shifting my heart's posture and making sure that I'm dying to my flesh every day. Like the Bible says, you have to take up the cross every day. It's not just on Sundays, it's every day. What does taking up the cross look like? It means studying your word daily, dying to your flesh daily, dying to the things that you want to do daily, dying to your emotions daily, and putting in the work daily. Like, God does not like idleness. God does not like laziness. And that's another thing that I had to come to terms with, is that, you know, it's not just about like showing up and reading the Bible. It's also about like doing the work, because God expects us to do the work and plant seeds and be good stewards over what he's given us and be prepared. So I'm just trying to take up the cross every day. Okay. I am really grateful for the place that God has me in right now, because you guys, I have so much peace. I wake up in the morning and I'm not worried about my emails or money or who needs me or anything like that. Like, I just have so much peace, and I have so much joy. I just realized that I'm gonna run out of time to film my content for the day. My sister is going to get the boys now, and when they get back home, it's going to be chaotic. So I probably will not be able to film my content. However, what I'm going to do is just prep my content, script it out. I need to finalize a presentation that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be filming. So just get all of that done. And then tomorrow my hair is already done, and all I have to do is spend like 30 minutes on my makeup, and I can just jump into creating the content without a lot of footwork. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow. Peace. How do you know that?
And the next, she says to stay in the cross forever.
He stayed on the cross forever?
No, he didn't.
He didn't stay on the cross forever. You right.
Yeah, he didn't stay on the cross forever.
He didn't stay on the cross forever. He rose again.
He rose again.
Yes.
The people roll it out and then it will roll it to someone like.
Yes, you right. How'd you learn that at school? How'd you learn that?
Look, I made a cross.
Ooh, yes, I love your cross. Put it right here. The cross. I love it.
I'm gonna break it.
You gonna break it? I have a cross on my necklace, you see?
Alright.
I love that you're talking and learning about Jesus
Jesus.
and the blood of Jesus. This whole conversation started because of this sponge, and I was blending out my face, and he said, blood comes out of us like Jesus. And then we started talking about Jesus, right? And I was like, I'm already gonna be filming, so let me just turn on my camera to capture this, because I love these moments with my Lukachu, my honey bun, even though he doesn't like me calling him honey bun right now. Or do you like me calling you honey? What do you want me to call you? Just Luca?
Yes, Luca.
Just Luca? Okay. You do have a pretty great name.
I can see myself on the camera. It's really heavy, right?
It's really heavy? Really heavy. Hey, you guys. So, my sister has a doctor's appointment today, and Luca decided to stay home. So, I'm on TT duty, and I'm doing my makeup. He's always so curious about like what I'm doing, the products I'm using, all the things. So when I got started, I was blending out my makeup with this sponge, and he was like watching me like, you know, fill it up with water and wring it out. He loves like squishy stuff. So he's like, that's squishy. And I'm patting my face, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like blending it out. And I think like he just correlated like blending with blood. So he's like, blood comes out of us. And I was like, yeah, but I hope no blood comes out of us today, prayerfully. And he goes, yeah, like Jesus. And that's how we got on the whole conversation that y'all heard. So I didn't plan to have him in the video at all. Me and my sisters are very against like children on the internet because people are weirdos. So not a fan of children on the internet, but I am gonna get her okay to share that previous clip if it's here, since his face wasn't showing or anything and it was just his voice, and I thought that was just a really sweet moment. Okay, so let's talk about my dating life. People have been asking me to talk about my dating life and dating experiences for years, because to be honest, like being in a large city like Atlanta or LA or even Nashville, like you do a lot of dating because there's a lot of men, there's a lot of women, and again, like those aren't cities where people are really looking to settle down per se. They're looking to like have fun and build careers and all the things. So my perspective has changed drastically on dating, because in the past, like I was really dating based off of like vibes, like who can I have the most fun with. You know, a lot of my dating choices had to do with like, honestly, just, I don't even know, like what they looked like, if we had fun together, what experiences we could have together. And I never sought God about the men that I was entertaining, ever. Like, even when there were blatant red flags, I never sought God. I was just like, you know, just having fun, whatever. But now I consider myself to be dating for the kingdom and not for the culture. because culture dating will have you in situationships for years. It'll have you with people that you shouldn't be with. You should have never given a chance. It will have you in relationships for years with a man that doesn't even plan to marry you, who does not treat you the way that the Bible says that men should treat women. So yeah, right now where I am in my dating, I'm extremely single, which is very different for me because I've always had like someone around, whether it be an ex or someone who's trying to pursue me. But now it's like, if it doesn't sit right with my soul, if I pray to God about it and I ask God about you, and y'all know the prayer when you say like, if this person is not for me, God, remove them from my lives, God will move quick, right? He will give you that confirmation quick. So I say that as soon as I meet someone, as soon as we have our first conversation, every single day I am praying and I am, you know, just looking to see if this person is truly a man of God, and that has completely shifted my dating experiences. I can also be honest in saying that a lot of my dating experiences were based off of like just being lonely. And for me, not so much loneliness as like ego. Like I love being alone. I was never the type of girl that was like desperate to be in a relationship or to be married even, because I never saw a healthy marriage. So it wasn't something that was like on my radar to have. So I thought the 20s was for having fun and dating and meeting new people and all the things. But now, if I could go back, and what I would tell my children, my son and my daughter, if I have children one day, is to find someone that you love, trust, who loves God, who can help you to grow and build with them. Like, you do not need to be out here dating all type of people, because by the time you get to your 30s, you're going to have baggage. It is just inevitable if you are dating so many people, because you are going to be exposed to so many things that are not of God. So exposed to men who are liars, exposed to men who are manipulative, exposed to, it's just honestly endless things that you can be exposed to. STDs, unplanned pregnancy, just so many things, right? So it's almost like it's a protection mechanism. Everything that God puts into the Bible and outlines in the Bible is for our protection. So now I've shifted my dating life. I'm a lot more intentional. Kingdom dating is not about vibes. It's about being intentional, because we're looking to build the kingdom of God together as husband and wife and submitting to God. A lot of people do not date that way. They're not in alignment with that, men and women. I have completely stopped having sex. I'm abstinent. I do not plan to have sex until I'm married. And I'm going to go deeper into that in another video where I'm talking about like dating and kingdom dating versus cultural dating, and go into details about how I'm shifting myself, because it's a lot and it takes intentional work. But I have literally no desire to dishonor my body and dishonor God by having premarital sex. I also do not drink. I don't smoke. So that helps as well, because even drinking, like you have one drink, you're feeling good, and then you're texting somebody you shouldn't be texting. Or even like listening to, like, I love 90s R&B music, y'all, but even listening to certain music I don't listen to anymore, because it gets me in my feelings of like wanting to talk to people, or like wanting to be in love or have sex, or whatever the case may be. So just making sure that there are like strict boundaries around my everyday life and what I'm watching, what I'm consuming, what I'm listening to, all the things. But I'm very single right now, and the only way a man can get to me is through God. He is really going to have to be locked in with the Lord, because I'm locked in with the Lord. I am praying for my husband, and I know that he is praying for me wherever he is. And I truly believe that God is going to have this come to pass. I don't know when. I'm not attached to the when. I'm not attached to the how. But I'm excited about it. I'm really excited to be in my wife era and my mom era. And I'm in preparation mode. I'm preparing. But But again, I will talk about that more on a separate video. Random, I have not worn lashes in so long, so I don't even know. I'm gonna be struggling to put these on. So let's talk about my diet, you guys. I am doing keto, and I hope that my girl Soraya isn't watching this because she's like a fitness expert and she's very against like fad diets and all the things. But y'all know I love me a fad diet. I love keto. Keto loves me, and I love keto. I've done keto in the past and my body was snatched, and I've only been doing it for a week, but I have more energy. I feel better. So yeah, I will keep y'all posted on my keto journey because I'm feeling good. And honestly, it also like helps me just to be more mindful of what I'm putting in my body, because so many things that I grab on the daily basis have so much sugar, so much added sugar, so many carbs. It's like, okay, no wonder I know why I've gained so much weight, because this is junk, you know. Another thing that I'm doing right now is planning a trip for my grandma's 70th birthday. Originally, she wanted to go to Africa, but honestly, doing that for like such a large group of people was like very overwhelming, especially because I've never been before. I do have a friend from Zimbabwe, so she was telling me all the things, but it's going to have to be a trip where it's like not a lot of people. So we're doing somewhere else. She's probably watching this, so I'm not going to say where we're going. And we're doing something that's a little bit more accessible for everyone, because we want people to be able to like drive there, not jump on a plane. People have like large families. So doing a big trip can get like very expensive when it comes to all those little details. But I'm so excited to celebrate my grandma. If y'all know me, y'all know my grandma is my heart. I do not play about her. All she got to do is say the word and anybody can get it. But yeah, I'm so excited to just celebrate her. She's turning 70. She's dealt with so much in her life, like many people have, but she's done it with so much grace and sacrifice. She's truly like a Proverbs 31 woman, because honestly, I don't know if I would have had as much grace as she's had about a lot of things that she's going through, but because of her grace, now her grandchildren, we get to live a life that is guided by God, and really we just have so much favor and so much wisdom because of her. So I just literally cannot thank her enough. I will do anything for her, and I cannot wait to celebrate her. But I'm almost done doing my makeup. I'm about to try to film some videos. That's all I got for now. I'm gonna be doing a video on like my lip filler and Botox, even though I haven't had Botox in a while, as y'all can see. But my lip filler, I got it a year ago and they overfilled my lip, but I still like it. And I get a lot of questions about it, especially as a Black woman. So that'll be one of my videos that I'll be doing soon. And if y'all have any other requests or things that y'all want to see from me, let me know. I love y'all, and I appreciate anyone who has taken a moment to listen to what I have to say, tap into my life. God is so good, and I want to be a light. I want to be the salt of the earth and encourage people to really lean into him, because he really has us in his hands. His plans are so much better than ours. But until next time, I'll talk to y'all later.